Quick look at it. We don't have a lot of time, but, I see. I can't do that because I'm on the main line. Really? Mhm. So, let's see here. This is an even game, right? So first, from my perspective, as white, I'm just answering here. That's an enormous move. Secondarily, as black, which way do we want to go? You want to go for this way? That's a very tasty profit incentive. It's just, your opponent doesn't answer a move like this. The reason moves like this are so standard is because they're good. When your opponent doesn't answer them, then that means this is a moment of opportunity for you. You can choose between, let me get the view right. There. You can choose on this side between going this way and building center power out here. Right. Or going this way and just getting the quick profit. But either way, you get a nice gain for yourself, and then you can move on and do whatever you want. From one's perspective, there's a kind of an issue here. If this is such a terrific potential, then you have to question the original approach move. If white is getting in a problem by playing this way, then the problem comes earlier. With no stone out in through here, actually, from black's perspective, I'm almost, here we are, I'm almost content to take a quick profit here, and then just take the whole side.
Solidify, just make the profit.
That looks reasonable enough. I'm not thinking that this is all going to be territory anyway. With this little bit of logic around the cut here. Now I sort of, this move doesn't cost me anything. See, it's paired up with this move, so I haven't spent a move to get the gain. I wouldn't necessarily be that unhappy with that. But in through here, then, once you sort of take an attacking style, you know, it's too late. You gotta keep it up. You can't show fear. So you ended up in the end just helping white get a stronger shape in through here. And you backed into that anyhow. Mm-hmm. Really? Normally white can push one more time here, and that is worth doing. Oftentimes you'll see white continue along this line. This strength is going to work fairly well since there's this weak white group here. That wouldn't necessarily be so good in this instance. However, in through here, I would, as white, just push in one time and kind of revert. So you know you're going to have be forced in through there. That's just part of this the sequence. But I like just turning here. It's a thicker shape for black. Okay. You see, this is just sitting and sitting and sitting on the board. Whatever. There's even if black just calls Atari once and moves on, that's a substantial cente gain for black. And now we have a kind of loss of focus here. How about that? looks nice. I'm thinking that probably white wants to push here first and go this way. But in through here, sort of by pressing here, you create the possibility of separating along this side, but then black stops that. And now black jumps in over here, a move he could have played without advanced preparation. You can see in through here that every move is in a different place. This is a question of poor focus. If it was worth playing these moves in the upper side, it's worth developing them. And in particular, you can see that black is punishing himself for never ever having come back here and gotten what was just sitting on the table for him, one way or another. For example, when white plays here, well, let's just say, for example, that we had this exchange down earlier, and then the game goes very similarly. Well, look how neat this is.
I mean, white has to watch out or he's going to get killed there.
Yeah, actually, black could even get meaner now that the game has taken this course. He could, you know, put more pressure on white in through here, force white to live small. But in either case, whatever's happening here, white is linking over the top and black is linked over the top and has a clean position. You can see in the game here, see these stones are separated, and throughout here, black is being forced to defend these stones one way or another. Okay, let me just refresh my memory.
We've got a 15-minute break now, and then we switch off.
Great. Aha. I knew I had it. Yes, okay, so we were scheduled to go to 11:30, which is what time it is right now, and then have a 15-minute break and have you play. Since I was a little bit late, we'll just go for 5 more minutes. We'll go to 11:35. Then you have a 10-minute break and have a play session. Now, I think that Eric maybe mentioned this before, but just I'll repeat it. It just slows us down too much for me to do the pairings, so I decided that it's going to be self-pairing. And the rules for the self-pairing are, as much as possible, play someone you don't normally get to play. That's number 1. Number 2, no repeats. Number 3, after you follow these 2 rules, if you can kind of play evenly through the group. Some games with the top players in the group, some games with the bottom players in the group, some games with the middle players in the group, and kind of be evenly distributed in that way, that would be good. But that is a secondary rule in comparison with the first 2 primary rules. And also, you may take into consideration who's got recording materials and who doesn't. That might be a reason for swapping a pair. If you have two laptop players and 2 nothing players for switching. So we'll just wrap this up here. So by not taking what was sitting for him here, black has created a situation where there is a little bit more pressure against his own stones. And by playing such a scattered way, with playing over here to reduce white, then playing over here to increase himself, by coming in over here and then not developing these stones, by not keeping focus, black has turned this game into kind of a difficult game for him. Let's just take a look at this. Is white afraid here? How would Hana here?
Really bad headache.
What? Now, if white's going to fight, this is the place. if you look at what's happening here, let's take a look at this. If there's an advantage in this situation to white, it's going to come right here. Here's a single white stone. With this stone in contact and this stone, there's only 2 liberties left. Black is very constricted in his ability to fight through here. But what white does is he backs off, then he honeys, and then he cuts. Having first made black stronger, he then initiates a fight where he has a far weaker position. Actually, black could probably just get a quick win by doing this.
Hmm.
I think something of white's is dropping. But my point is that if there is an, is that what the game went? Huh. Oh, no, the game went that far. If there is something in this position, if it's a favorable position for white, then start immediately. Don't let your opponent get stronger and then try fighting. So what is the story with the game diagram here?
I think this is your variation, isn't
This
We're
is
at
gonna
the
be-
end. I don't suppose this is the end of the game. Did we have a recording error? Did black actually not play here, but play A or B? He played A. This is the game diagram?
Yes.
it?
Ah. Uh-huh.
No.
I think I lost focus again.
Well, I would have gone the other way. Instead of 77, go up.
Turn here.
Well, I would have pushed, isn't it Sente if he pushes up against those two stones?
Oh, this way?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah. Well, black, that doesn't help that much, because white just plays Hane here, and then black hasn't accomplished anything yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I would start with looking at this. What is white going to do here? White has to play here. Now, there's no absolute need to save these two stones, particularly.
Oh, how about hitting the nose of those two?
Here?
No, on the other, yeah,
Here?
yeah.
Uh, uh, Okay, so then this is the way the game went.
Either way, out of the game.
Uh-huh. And by pushing from this side, again, this is kind of a focus issue. This stone is meaningless. You know, this is the focus in through here. So by pushing from the upper side, all that black has done is hurt himself in the battlefield area. And now he's short of liberties here. Mm-hmm. And so what, black has given up on this fight?
Can you back up a little bit, where you play that tiger's mouth in the middle there?
Which one? Oh, this one here?
Yeah, two is.
Earlier?
Oh, okay, forget it. I was just remembering it wrong.
Uh-huh. Mm. You can't fight for everything. You can see here that black hasn't chosen between his different groups which one he's going to be fighting for. To some extent, black has gotten into this position a little bit. Again, he's never forced white to make a choice here. I'd be kind of inclined to just tap here and see which way white moves. What's he going to give me? Then once I know what I'm being given, I have an idea about what I need to get following this. You know, if he plays through here, then that sets up you know, some potential over in this area. Or maybe I might just play here. You know, what's he gonna give me? Is he just gonna drop these stones and gonna let me take them? Is he gonna try and save them? Now I have a coal left over here, is that what's happening? When you know what you have up front, you have a much better idea how to gauge the fight. In every, see, this is again the iron law of war. Everybody gets something. In a fight, both sides get something out of it. What you're fighting over isn't everything, you know, everything for me, nothing for you. Typically what you're fighting over is a division. You're fighting to move the division more favorably in your direction. Well, how favorably does it need to be? What does more favorably mean? Until you sort of have an idea about what you're getting, you can't answer this question. You don't know how to answer it. And so by not probing this area and just seeing what white is going to give him over here, black really in some sense doesn't know how to fight in through here. Black has gotten himself in a position by neglecting these stones, coming back to here, see? He puts a stone down. Now if these stones are important, why isn't he continuing to develop them? Then he plays over here. You know, it takes, you can play through to completion. Completion comes when you have stability. Does anyone look at this board and say these black stones are stable? It's not about living or dying, it's about stability. In an unstable situation, the person who plays next has a very big profit potential. That's what unstable means. It means that it can shift radically very quickly. That's what you look it up in the dictionary. That's what unstable means. So when you get stability, then that means that the profits left in the area become, relatively speaking, small. That's what stable means. Not life, not dead, but stable. How much can the profits, locally speaking, be shifted by who gets the next move? When that, you can't stop until that is small. That's stability. So black here, you know, plays these stones, plays these stones, plays these stones, never challenges white in through here. Basically, black has no focus in this game. He doesn't know what's important to him, and he's not following through. That led into a fight that may have been a little bit unreasonable from white's perspective, but because black was unfocused, it was looking at white was being more successful in the fight. You have to get clear in your mind what the important thing is, and then you have to stick to that thing until it's done. Okay, let's stop here. I went further than